What is going on, everyone? Green Ranger 1701 back here with another video. Today we have something that's been long awaited for me personally. This was a birthday gift from my wife on October 25th, nearly 4 months ago. After many logistical issues, basically had to go get it myself on a recent vacation. I got this from buycostumes.com. It's a little bit of a deviation from Sim Cosplay, but I always wanted to get this and Sim didn't offer it. So this is the Batman vs. Superman Armored Batman cosplay. I've looked at a couple of other videos here on YouTube, some other people reviewing it. I don't know really what to expect here. It looks cool. It's presented really awesome in the picture, but it doesn't, all it shows is the costume completely put together in the photo. So it doesn't break it down like Sim does. You go on their website, you see the accessories, you get the full-blown cosplay so you can see what it looks like, but then you get the pieces broken down telling you exactly what to expect so there's no misinterpretation. So again, I looked at a couple videos. Looks pretty cool. May need some modification, I think, just from a first glance. But yeah, so New York. Again, I'm in Alaska, so that's really fun. But yeah, long time, almost 4 months later. So I'm going to throw this down the floor here. I'm going to bust this sucker open. It's got some decent weight to it. Oh man, I've waited a good long while for this. My poor wife, she actually put a picture of the cosplay in a bag for me for my birthday and presented it that way because it didn't get here in time. She was super heartbroken. It was really sweet. She's always so considerate, always thinking of ways to do really cool things. So.
Thousands of tears later.
Okay. Whew. That's kind of cool. I had to pull it out by myself. So, oofa. Okay. So pretty neat. This whole time even has like a little carrying case. That's kind of awesome. They just did a big box. So all right. So it's called the Supreme Edition Full Body Armor. The helmet lights up. Let's see what you can see on your side. Let's do this up on the counter. So what we have here is the back and the front version. So you can see there's a little bit of separation. They do provide an actual bodysuit Batman cosplay from the movie. It's just, I know for a fact that it's just like a simple zip up onesie. Not onesie, that's a really terrible word. One piece. And then you're gonna have the shoes, kind of the calf / shin protectors. Then you're gonna have the hip and thigh. There's even a crotch protector here. You're gonna have the belt. There's a 2-piece chest armor. And then you're gonna have the gauntlets. The gloves are separate, and then you're gonna have the helmet. So, and this is kind of what it's supposed to look like. I like the idea. Oh, of course, it has a cape as well, which isn't really featured here because they want to give you everything. But kind of neat that it's sitting like it does. It's actually broken down by piece. I didn't expect that much detail out of this. Even if you stand it up a little, you kind of get the whole gig here. So that's pretty neat. Actually, just officially got a little bit more excited about this. So let's dive into it together, shall we? So where's this sucker supposed to come? That is a lot of tape. You could, man, they just clobbered this thing with tape. I mean, no joke. Looks like a standard, it's got kind of the fold-in pieces where it meets the box. This is pretty common for a lot of different things, including toys and whatnot. So I'm just gonna slice down here so I can open it properly. The box is really cool. I really didn't expect that. This is neat, actually. I literally thought they just threw the parts into a box. I did not know what to expect from this. The people that I had reviewed, which was actually one, this other guy looked like he had built his own or modified the one he had, so I didn't take two. I took that with a grain of salt. So all right, flip this around. Yeah, tape everywhere. I mean, they just, wow. That is a lot of freaking tape. Okay. right, so, goodness. Okay, well I broke this trying to open it up, so, all right. So we have the how-to manual. That's going to tell us exactly how to put it together. I also saw in that guy's video, so this just confirms to me that he was using the exact same thing. Sometimes you find people who use Etsy, different things, you don't know where it comes from, but I saw this exact same thing in his video. The problem was it was done all in German. The gentleman was German, so he spoke his native language, so not a clue what he said. But he did a pretty good job putting it together. It was like a 4-minute video. If I remember to, I'll provide the link in the description below. So now we're just pulling out a whole lot of parts here. So I did notice also initially there's a whole lot of Velcro to this. So this is going to be a shoulder blade plus kind of like a bicep shield. You got, this is the belt piece. Of course you got another shoulder. Well, it's a styrofoam. Guess if I wanted to ship something, I'd be all right. All right. Okay, and then top piece there. Okay, now we're. Okay. My goodness. Getting down to the helmet, which is probably the most exciting piece. I love what Zack Snyder did. I think he did a great job at really paying attention to the comic and doing his best to make it into a live action thing. I think he succeeded wonderfully. So that was part of what made me so excited about this, because you know there's a lot of talented people out there who make these things themselves and all that, but it's a lot harder to come by because they put a lot of hours into it. Of course, labor goes into those costs, and that was a little steep for me. Not that this wasn't. I was actually surprised that my wife paid for this, because it's like, I think it was, I don't know, like $634 or something like that on buycostumes.com. So it was not cheap. Gauntlet, and boy, they have just taped everything. There we are. This sweet helmet. This is solid too, just on the initial look. I know also that it lights up. Whether or not it has batteries already installed is a good question. Looks like there's a lot of foam here, so that's good. So I can sit on your head a little more gently. The problem I'm experiencing with a lot of different things, apparently I have a big head. Helmets don't fit me when they say one size standard, so praying that this one does. I might have to shave down some of the foam, which is always a good possibility. It's just doing it very accurately. Let's see, where's the... I see this here, but how do you turn it on? I guess we'll find that out in the actual... we'll find that out in the actual review piece. But this is... That's actually solid. I didn't really expect that. The rest of it, I mean... It's cool, but it bends and whatnot. This is really no give, so I'm happy about that. Really neat. Okay, so let's quickly scan through the rest of this here. More tape, yay. Okay, so we have a chest armor piece. So again, a lot of straps and Velcro buckles. Saw that in the review video as well from the gentleman that I watched. Unfortunately, there's adjusters, so that's good. So the description on the website said standard, and then they had an XL, right? And you see this pretty commonly on places like Spirit Halloween, buycostumes.com, halloweencostumes.com, a lot of different websites that I've surfed before. They just usually do a very generic thing, which is fine. But when you run into something like this, where, you know, this is obviously quite large and whatnot, you get a little concerned about that. But the buckles adjust, and that's good, because that'll fit the body length, but then we come down to the question of body size, right? If it makes sense. So this is going to be for the thigh. This is like a hip guard, so it's going to sit in just about like that. More buckles. There's a lot that connects here, and we'll go through that as we get this sucker on and reviewed. Here is the other. This is a knee guard, but they're both in here. So this will be the kind of the piece between, well, here's the other shin, of course, first of all. Okay, so this is the shin guard, right? This is going to be there. And then here is the boot, or the shoe, however you want to call it. I saw some guys making some modifications just as well. Lots of flexibility here, which I'm grateful for. This means you can be mobile in the cosplay. So put your shoe through. It's going to have like a little adjustable. This is elastic, and then there's about, I don't know, maybe an inch and a half of give to adjust. So that way your shoe doesn't go below the actual thing. And of course there's some adjustment there, so that's really, really important. Knee guard, so this would be the part in between the thigh and in between the shin guard. There's gonna be a little space there, so they did account for that. And we kind of looked at this in the photos as well. More straps and elasticity, so this one might be a babysitting method, like I've talked about before in other various cosplay videos. And then there's also some padding there, so it's not just shaping your knee. That's a really good call by them. But it also makes it a little bit tighter. So we'll see about that. Here's the other one, same gig. All right, and then we have the other side. The other hip guard, thigh. So lots of big pieces here. This is so, I'm getting a little more excited about this as I go along. This is pretty awesome. I wasn't sure what to expect, but so far, this is about what I anticipated. So good stuff so far. The real deal, as always, we're gonna be getting this sucker on, testing mobility, testing the sizing. You know, is the standard acceptable to call it that way when it comes to putting it on? Is, you know, varying people. Obviously, you got to account for your size and all those different things. So now we have some gloves. So these are cool because these aren't the end-all be-all. And what I mean by that is you're going to have the actual finger slot. So under the bottom, it's not as obvious. So that you've got a little bit more of a fabric here. And then you've got the fingers that are armored. They're kind of around and whatnot. And then it's just like a Batman glove you'd see maybe on the kids aisle, but the gauntlets, kind of like the forearm gauntlets, are going to be over this, so this won't just be hanging out and looking very, very ugly. That was kind of a concern too. So they paid attention to detail, which I'm happy about. This cost way too much not to. So we got the second glove. This is just a matter of getting everything out of here. All right, so now we have this is on the spine. Look at all those buckles. Glad I watched the video on that. So this is going to attach to the chest piece, the crotch guard, it's going to attach to the thighs. This is going to have a big part to play in the overall cosplay. I watched that piece and I was a little confused. I was like, oh my gosh, what does it all connect to? But so this is going to be the chest piece right underneath the chin. You know, upper chest, torso. If I can get the styrofoam around it off. Great. So yes, this is going to go like this, I believe. And there's a front and a back, so they're going to clip in. There's a couple of pieces here. It's actually Velcro. So, we'll see how that goes. That might need some reinforcement. I don't know if I trust that to hang on the entire time, especially if you're trying to be mobile. Because obviously in a cosplay I tend to be mobile, so. And again, each part of these has foam, so it's not just hanging on and chafing, so I do appreciate that effort. Obviously that's very, very important, comfort. That's gonna be, you know, an ongoing gig, right, with any cosplay. You wanna make sure that you can function in it comfortably. What do we have here? So here is our utility belt, another buckle on the inside, not elastic. This really does seem like either fits or it doesn't. Surely there's got to be some adjustability here. That'll be interesting. That will be very, very, because I'm telling you right now, that is way bigger than my waist. Okay, so we already have some, unsureness in one of these areas. Now on the gauntlets, paying tribute obviously to the little blades on the side. I wish they'd put a little bit more detail. They were separated. I think that was a little bit lazy. More Velcro and padding, of course. So these will just come apart. You just Velcro it back together. Same gig we've been looking at. Lots of pieces here. So this would take a hot minute to put on. Here is the guard I mentioned a couple of times. So this, gonna be honest, this seems uncomfortable. So this is basically gonna set up like this. It's gonna clip upwards, and then it's also going to go underneath you, directly in the middle, to clip up in the back. Not sure how I feel about that. That sounds really uncomfortable. Can't say that I'm excited about that. All right, and lastly, we have this suit and the cape. I'm curious of what the material composite of the cape is. So we'll look at that first. Set the tops to the side. There's nothing else here. All right, so I'm obviously going to be cutting these tags off. So these have hooks, maybe like you'd find on a set of car keys or something like that. I'm just going to hook into the front of the armor. So it's heavy. It's got a good weight to it. And it's long enough that it's hanging off of me. Maybe pull it up a little bit over. That's probably going to drag the ground a little bit. I am 5'8", for those of you who are wondering. I get that question a lot, what my measurements are, and I'll say the same thing every time. For sim cosplay, mostly they customize to you, but in this case, they say standard, and say standard means one size fits most. So for this, I wish they'd had a bit more of like a sheer heavy cloth. I don't think that'd be too hard to replicate. It doesn't look terrible, but I think it could have been done better from this initial view. But I do like the weight to it because I still think it makes sense, and it's going to give that cosplay a little bit more of a real feel. So I'm happy about that. Here's another critical part. One suit, right? So what does this mean when we talk about a one-piece suit that's supposed to be one size fits most? That's pretty thick, right? I mean, gosh. I mean, if you pull it out I know it's going to be covered up and whatnot, but at the same time, having that feeling of looseness, I've said on my videos before, I like my cosplay to be snug. And I knew that was a risk taking by getting a cosplay like this when I wanted it in the first place. That when you reach into this isn't sim, you're not getting it tailored. It is what it is. And so I'm not your average size adult, a guy for that matter. Most guys are 5'10", 5'11", 170, 180 pounds. I'm short 2 inches and about 20 to 25 pounds. So we'll see what happens. I am impressed with the logo. I like that it does protrude. Not that it'll make a whole lot of difference underneath, because it's going to be covered by the cosplay, the armor, right? So not a big deal there. And of course it zips obviously down to the lower back. So okay, that was a good wow. We've spent 20 minutes just unboxing this thing. So thank you so much for hanging out for this. Next time you see me, we will be in this sucker and be ready to talk about it. So I'll catch you in a few minutes. All right, guys, welcome back. My gosh, so there's been a long time from the actual unboxing of this video to getting to the review. Now, I've been working so much on mobility. There's not a whole lot. You can move your legs. This is not, it's bulky, but it's not as bad as it looks. You can't touch your face. You are limited in the arms. We got a lot to talk about here, but overall, I love the look. I'm gonna try to take this to Arctic Comic Con next weekend. Today is the 24th, and subsequently my beautiful daughter's second birthday, but you'll probably be seeing this the next day. So shout out in the comments below, happy birthday to my little lady, my little Batgirl. So there are a couple quarrels with this, like any other cosplay. So let's start with the shoes a little bit. So what happens is it's bottomless. This is all plastic, right? It's kind of a resin. It bends open so you can get a shoe in it. I put on my boots, that way it gives it form. You can't wear regular regular tennis shoes or maybe other cosplay boots that just have too much form. These need to have stability. So wear something bulky. I have hiking boots on right now. The next, and it has a little band that comes up over the top of your arch of your foot. That way that the back of it stays up, because it actually, if it's straight like this, it actually bends open. So, and as you can see, I'm already having cosplay issues here. And then next we come up to the calf guards. So each of these things is held together by Velcro. You saw that in the unboxing. Very hard to get around your calf and whatnot. And I'm not really a thick guy, so don't worry, this stuff is really flexy, so don't worry about breaking it. Obviously don't expand it too far, but make sure that you give yourself enough space. I opened it from the back and slid it from the back of my calf over to my shin, and then I turned it. Same thing with the thigh. The really annoying thing that I found so far about this cosplay is the knee pads. And maybe that's just because I'm not really thick enough to fill all this out properly. Now, this is a one size fits all. It's called a standard size. And then there's an extra large. But those are the only two sizes that this particular cosplay came in. So the knee pads move around a lot. They get underneath the shin guard a lot. So I'm gonna see what I can do to maybe pad something in between my knee and give that a little bit more space come Comic-Con. So then with the thigh, kind of the same thing. The Velcro all the way down the center. And then you just pull that around and maybe just shift it around your hip. It has a buckle on the side that connects the upper armor to help it maintain its height. As you can see, this is still kind of a struggle for me. I'm not all that tall. I am 5'8", 5'7", 5'7", depending on who you ask. So that goes same for both sides. You have a little crotch guard here, really uncomfortable. There's a band that actually goes underneath and connects to a spine piece that really brings this whole chest piece together, right? So this below piece is on its own, and then you have an upper chest armor piece. It's two pieces. It comes off from front and back. Kind of think King Theoden and the Two Towers as he was armoring up for the Battle of Helm's Deep. Geek moment there. And then this also connects to a lot of other different things. Like I said, it connects to the hips. And then it also tries to get you a little bit more snug so you can pull it in tight and kind of make it fit your chest a little bit better. So that's really nice. There's a lot of foam on the inside. I think that's to take up or cushion where someone might fall short in size, in my case, or if they're just a little bit bigger, you have some breathing room. You can just kind of push in a little bit, but it gives you some flexibility there, which is good. I'm just no Ben Affleck in size, end of story. So again, I can't really show you the spine piece, but you probably did see that on the unboxing piece. So that all connects together. There's lots of poles, kind of pole tighteners to make sure that you're getting the most out of your cosplay. There's a lot of adjustments. So again, they were being considerate in terms of different people's sizes in various areas. Then we move to the shoulders. You can see that opens up just a little bit, kind of annoying. If you can see down in there, there's a lot of space in between my elbow and the actual armor, and that's just, there's some there's some cushion inside there too, there's some foam. I just don't fill it out too well, so maybe I'll wear some extra layers to try to give a little bit more of that bulkier, thicker look, because that's about all I can really think of at this point. So first you would be putting on the gloves, and then you have underneath, so your hands go through the fingers of the gloves, and then it has plastic all over. It's pretty decent material. This one actually flex a little bit more. Obviously that's gonna be important to be able to move your hands and whatnot, but it all slides underneath, kind of think fingerless gloves or other cosplay things you might have bought as a kid. Very, very similar. For the forearms, same as the shins, same as the thighs. It all opens up. It's full Velcro down the side there. You can probably see that. It's probably about a 1/2 inch in diameter. So basically what that means is you're not gonna get a whole lot of give. It's again, the one size fits all. This is my really, I get it. You can't really tailor something like this to someone, but that's kind of a struggle for me. I prefer my cosplay snug and things like that. So a lot of opening here, right? So the glove, it runs up to about your forearm, and then you put the gauntlet on. And then of course you try to connect the elbow pads. As you can see, I'm already struggling, and you're not too mobile. Because of chest armor, this is as far as my arms go. I can't even like touch my face hardly. So that's annoying, right? You can see that's really open, and it's just getting underneath the armor. So, but anyway, see, there you go. It's kind of back now, but yeah, it's some adjusting. So there's not a whole lot of mobility here. And then of course you got the cape, which is really neat. Let me try to show this a little bit. Just very standard. I think they did a really good job kind of capturing the essence of how this cape looked in the film. I was really impressed with that. But it just has two little hooks that go in the top here. Just go on the top, and they just clip in. So that's really easy. And for the last step, we got the helmet. Some more foam inside this, and of course there's a little device inside just next to the chin and to the left, just below the ear, that flips on these little lights inside. So the only thing that's a struggle is you can see that there's a lot of my neck showing, right? So this is where I'm gonna recommend like a gaiter or a buff, I think they call them, just to kind of blacken that out a little bit more and give the suit just a little bit more credibility in terms of full armor and whatnot. If you angle down, it's much harder to see, right? But then again, you're looking at the ground. So this will probably be what I'll be doing for photos come art at Comic-Con next weekend. But overall, I think it's neat, right? Batman vs. Superman is one of my all-time favorite Batman movies. This really does a good job. The look, it's one of those things where, is it perfect quality? No. But does it look wonderful in photos? Does it feel amazing to wear? 1000% yes. So I ordered this cosplay. Well, my wife ordered it for my birthday back in October off of buycostumes.com. It was approximately $650. They don't ship to Alaska, so hence I had to send it to my brother-in-law's home in Seattle, and he didn't get it up here too quick, so we had to go down and get it. Love you, Daniel. Sorry, buddy. Calling you out. Anyway, oh, of course, sorry, I forgot the belt here. The belt, we actually had to take a piece off, just because it was too much. It was way too long, and I guess my waist is too tiny. I wear about a 32, in case you're wondering. So again, the one size fits most is just, this looks like it requires a more bulky individual than me. I'm about 155 pounds, 5'8", as I said earlier. So no Ben Affleck here, no really buff guy. But will this be fun to move around in come art at Comic-Con? Heck yeah, it will. I'm gonna have a really great time. You know, and if you're a Batman fan and you can afford something like this, I highly recommend it. I think it looks phenomenal. I really do. I really love this cosplay. Unfortunately, this does not come from Sim, so I can't provide you any discounts. But it is worth the buy. Now, I will say that as I've looked around online, I'm seeing less and less, and they only had one in stock at Buy Costumes the last time I looked. So that's gonna be really interesting. Trying to find. You might be able to find them on eBay, but of course they're probably gonna be jacked up in price because other people know that as well. So, you know, here we go. You know, Ben Affleck, Batfleck, Batman vs. Superman, armored cosplay right out of the Frank Miller 1980s Dark Knight Returns comic, which was phenomenal. If you haven't read it, pick it up, check it out. Meanwhile, also, if you like this video today, please like and subscribe. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Don't forget to shop on simcosplay.com. Use my personal code GreenRanger1701, all one word, to get 7% off your order. And always, leave me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me. So grateful for all my supporters. My subscribers continue to grow. I love this community. Thank you for supporting me, and I'll check you guys next time.
Dragon Sword!